Someone has to say it. You're not being trained to win. You're being programmed to settle. From the moment you wake up, everything around you pushes you to stay comfortable, to think small, to avoid discomfort, to seek instant gratification, to scroll endlessly without even noticing how much of your life is being wasted in exchange for nothing. And while you think you're living your life, you're slowly becoming a copy of everyone else, repeating the same days, hiding behind soft excuses, telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow. But there's a small group out there who's operating on an entirely different frequency. They don't wait. They don't talk much. They don't need to be hyped or motivated. They just move, quietly, consistently, with intention. And that's not because they're lucky or born with talent. It's because they think differently, because they've reprogrammed their mindset, because they understand that the modern world doesn't reward effort, it rewards clarity, consistency, and courage to go against the flow. The real difference between those who win and those who stay stuck isn't intelligence. It's how they handle discomfort, how they respond to failure, how they act when no one is watching. The mediocre mindset avoids pain at all costs. It looks for shortcuts. It wants to feel ready before taking action. But the truth is, you never feel ready. Winners know that. That's why they act even when they're unsure, even when they're afraid, even when they don't feel like it, because they know the real momentum only comes after you move, not before. The mediocre mind is addicted to pleasure. It needs to feel good to do anything. If something is uncomfortable, it quits. If it's boring, it leaves. If it's challenging, it finds an excuse. But winners know that real growth lives on the other side of resistance. They choose the hard thing, the thing no one else wants to do, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they know discomfort is where transformation happens, where identity is forged. And while everyone else is chasing convenience, they're building mental toughness. Another brutal difference: the mediocre need to consume. Their minds are flooded with endless content, noise, opinions, trends, outrage, gossip. They can't sit still. They can't spend 10 minutes alone without reaching for their phone. They feel productive because they're learning, but they're just escaping. Winners are ruthless with their attention. They filter what enters their minds like their future depends on it, because it does. They don't consume to escape. They consume to build, to learn, to sharpen. They protect their minds like a high-performance machine, because they know it's their most valuable weapon. The mediocre stay busy, but go nowhere. They're always doing something, but none of it matters. They reply to every message, check every notification, scroll endlessly, but nothing really changes. Winners don't chase busy. They chase progress. They don't need to do everything. They need to do what matters. And they do it with fierce consistency, even when no one's clapping. Especially then, when things go wrong, the mediocre look for someone to blame. The boss, the economy, their parents, their childhood, the algorithm, the weather. It's always someone else. But winners take ownership, even when it's not their fault. Because responsibility is power. If it's your responsibility, you can change it. If you blame others, you give away your power. You become a victim of the world. And winners refuse to live that way. The mediocre announce their plans. They need validation before taking the first step. They talk about what they're going to do. They post about it, brag about it, but they don't follow through. The winner says nothing. They work in silence. They don't need attention, need results, and by the time others notice, it's too late. The work is already done, the foundation already built. The mediocre want to appear disciplined. The winners actually are. Mistakes destroy the mediocre. They take failure personally. It bruises their ego. They get offended by feedback, embarrassed by imperfection, so they don't even try. Or they try halfway, just enough to say they tried, but not enough to risk real failure. Winners embrace mistakes. They expect them. They want them. Because every mistake is data. Every misstep is a lesson. They don't fear being wrong. They fear not improving. They use failure to grow faster. And that's why they win. Most importantly, winners are the mediocre crumble under pressure. They need everything to be just right to function. They need the weather, the mood, the motivation, the comfort. If things don't go perfectly, they fall apart. Winners thrive in chaos. They get sharper. Under stress, they adapt fast. They're flexible but focused. The storm doesn't break them, it reveals their strength. They don't control the world, but they control themselves. And that's what makes them unstoppable in a world that never stops changing. You can keep thinking like everyone else. You can keep waiting to feel ready. Keep blaming others. Keep consuming what's popular. Keep telling yourself you're trying, or you can shift. You can start thinking like the winners. You can stop waiting for permission. You can take control. Train your mind. Filter your inputs. Build your systems. Choose discomfort. Commit in silence. And act like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because in the end, it's not about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. It's not about what you plan. It's about what you execute. It's not about how motivated you feel. It's about how consistent you are when the excitement fades. It's not about appearing disciplined. It's about building identity through action. When it's boring, when it's hard, when it's quiet. That's where the winners are made. You don't need a new strategy. You need a new standard. A higher one. One that doesn't rely on motivation or emotion, but on decision and commitment. A standard that doesn't bend with the crowd, but stands firm even when no one is watching. That mindset, the one that separates winners from the rest, is available to you. But no one's going to hand it to you. You build it, you earn it, you choose it every day, over and over, until it becomes who you are.